Hi, my name is Sæbø and I'm the Pro-Rector of Education at the Norwegian University of Life Sciences. First of all, I am very sad that I cannot attend the conference in person in beautiful Barcelona, but I'm equally happy that I can still contribute in this way. I also hope that you will have a fruitful session and discussion about transdisciplinary curricula for sustainability. This work is a joint collaboration with my colleagues Annelien Eriksen and Thor Halvorsen at the University of Bergen, and even beyond that, it's a cross-institutional initiative among the several Norwegian universities, which I will return to shortly. First, a few words about the background for this bottom-up initiative from the universities. The National Committee for the 2030 Agenda in the university sector was initiated after the SDG conference in Bergen in 2018. So the overall aim for this National Committee is to strengthen and highlight the importance of the work that universities do for the Agenda 2030. Concretely, we develop cross-sectorial dialogues and partnerships, partake in national and international processes and events where the SDGs are discussed. The National Committee also oversees the annual high-level SDG conference in Bergen, which is a meeting point bringing together the university sector with stakeholders from the politics, government and diplomacy in Norway. Also UN officials, civil society and industry participate. A working group for creating a platform sharing of best practice for higher education for sustainable development with a particular focus on education was initiated by the university rectors at the 2019 conference, as you see on this picture. First, here is a few key points for the working group for the higher education for sustainable development. We aim to identify a research and education relevant understanding of sustainable development with strong focus on the interconnectedness between the goals. Also, we aim to give a qualitative statement about the dimensions that need to be present in an understanding of sustainable development in the university sector, such as pedagogical aspects, knowledge base, curriculum development, connection between research and education, and openness between disciplines. We reflect on the hindrances for an SDG-oriented transformation on higher education at universities and how we might promote a change. And finally, we are building a digital platform for dialogue, for presentation of best practice and the promotion of ideas for SDG-relevant teaching and disciplinary organization. The platform will be used to interact with actors in the sector, particularly those who already are engaged in SDG-relevant changes. So first, let me say a few words about how we think sustainability should be addressed in how and what we teach at universities. The Global Sustainability Development Report 2019, called The Future is Now, strives to address the complexity of the Agenda 2030, which I think is very relevant. They address head-on adopting a systemic approach, the Sustainable Development Goals, informed by the knowledge of the interactions among them. And in this way, it identifies the biggest transformative potential of the 2030 agenda, as they say, not throughout the pursuit of individual goals and targets, but rather by explicitly considering the interlinkages and resultant co-benefits and trade-offs, as they say in this report. Universities, policymakers and research founders must scale up support to mission-oriented research, and I might add, mission-oriented education, guided by the 2030 Agenda in sustainability science and other disciplines with simultaneous strengthening of the science-policy society interface. The 2030 Agenda calls, hence, for a transformative shift of higher education. While the SDGs are a whole, there are a number of unresolved conflicts within the framework. The interactions between knowledge types can help clarify some of these conflicts so that society can make democratic and rational choices based on this science. The problems the different goals evolve out of are all multidisciplinary, and they demand a broad academic cooperation to be both understood and acted upon. Then for education. Students as global citizens need to know what challenges we are facing and their complexity. As citizens of a country with place-bound identities, they need to know how to act to counter the global threats. And the notion of quality in education should also encompass not only high scientific standards within any given discipline, but also the training of key competencies for higher education for sustainable development, as well as sustainability knowledge. This must have an impact on what and how we teach. Higher education for sustainable development must ensure that students are equipped with a mindset and key competencies for sustainability, which, combined with their factual knowledge base, make them ready to take action to ensure sustainable future for our societies. Building on education for sustainable development goals, learning objectives, the UNESCO report, we have extended a set of key competencies for higher education for sustainable development. Together, and in addition to deep interdisciplinary knowledge, these express the competencies to transcend the traditional boundaries of disciplines, to rethink disciplines, to be open and empathetic to other perspectives, all in order to be creative and to suggest innovative and sustainable solutions to the complex challenges we are facing. To educate for sustainable development means to be open for more interdisciplinary interactions and for more problem-oriented and action-based teaching, we believe, where students contribute with ideas about what is relevant knowledge. There is a huge creativity force among the students we need to exploit. The three spheres framework of O'Brien with co-workers can be a way to understand and accelerate transformation of higher education for sustainable development. The key competencies address the personal sphere. Higher education for sustainable development requires dedicated leadership showing belief in the necessity of a transformative shift. This means that universities must be open for and support creativity and flexibility in ways of teaching and creating study programs, and to tear down silos within and between institutions. At governmental level, law and regulations for higher education must not put restrictions that work as hindrances for this flexibility. These are the components of what we can call the political sphere. Then, the practical sphere addresses the need to change curricula towards a stronger focus on education about sustainable development and towards a more problem-based pedagogy. A systemic approach is called for, but it must be fueled by deep interdisciplinary and secure knowledge based on basic research. We believe that education is key to achieving all goals of the Agenda 2030. Higher education have the opportunity to create a momentum for sustainable development by empowering people and educate sustainable citizens. To achieve this quickly, a digital platform for sharing best practice on education about, for, and as sustainable development among higher education institutions in Norway is built. This will be launched later this year. And you can see here a screenshot from how this platform will appear. Here at this platform, we will give examples of how sustainability can be addressed in higher education institutions through curricular change, through a change of pedagogy, through institutional interventions, and through student engagement, not the least. And we hope that this platform also will be an inspiration for other institutions outside Norway. Thank you very much for your attention.